Before we kick off proceedings, I just want to beg you to like and subscribe. Time to get cheeky. Twitchy eye. Shit, man. If a millennial midlife crisis were an album, you already know what I'm about to say. Look at his cheeky little face. Cheekface is an LA-based power pop and indie rock trio. This is like their fourth studio album, probably, following up their critically acclaimed 2022 release, Too Much to Ask. This one sees the band needing to meet the bar that they set with the nerdy, observational musings they delivered just an album prior. We've got Greg Katz on lead vocals and guitar, Amanda Tannen on bass, and Mark Edwards on drums. My man! That's my guy. Lyrically speaking, instrumentally speaking, a lot of the same kinds of themes and musical ideas pop up here. This time though, there's a lot more focus to the flow of the album, and a real sense that they're trying to hone in purely on the strength of their prior releases. The ingredients list hasn't necessarily been changed, there have just been some tweaks made to the recipe. If the Fringe doesn't remind you of an early They Might Be Giants song, you might need a cochlear implant. The chipper synth and organ, as well as the percussive use of guitar, sounds those bells immediately. Lyrically, this song is detailing a desire to be as unsuccessful as possible, being on the fringe. Opening night at my gallery show, a personal history of my runny nose, a towering achievement in aesthetic design. The critics don't like it. They are here for the wine. There might be a commentary on the gatekeeping nature of underground music scenes, where the minute a whiff of a revered artist doing numbers is smelt, it's pandemonium. They're sellouts. They're cringe. It's a classic Cheekface observation. The danceable post-punk of Popular 2 soundtracks a growing sense of dread at the idea that one's privacy is being slowly whittled away, particularly in the context of an open community neighborhood. The conclusion of this scenario being that hopefully they're at the very least enjoyable to view as a spectacle. These guys have put crack in this song, man! I don't know what they've done. They put crack in it. I want to put it in my crack! Similarly bleak outlooks get explored on tracks like Life in a Bag, which for all intents and purposes is a lamentation on settling down and growing up, i.e. becoming a total bore and slaving away on a wage. It's the crushing realization that your dreams were more or less delusions, and coping with that by simply feigning satisfaction at your situation. This is contrasted by some more cheerful synth leads and jagged power chords. The pretty lackadaisical tempo hits at a sort of malaise the track is trying to convey. The plucky delayed bits of guitar and metallic percussion on Grad School, the cowbell too, it's all giving off a Fear of Music era Talking Heads vibe. This feeling continues into the extended jam in the second half of the cut, which is something to be cherished, honestly, as it's not something the band indulges in often. Usually the idea is to be as brief and as blunt as possible. Largest Muscles chorus contains a melody that is eerily similar to Olivia Newton-John's Physical. Let's get physical. This had to be a conscious choice because it's really damn obvious. Still doesn't take away from the enjoyment, honestly. It's still a really bubbly piece of funk rock with some pretty tongue-in-cheek lyrical references to the different muscles. Your ass is your largest muscle. Why don't you sit down a while and think about that? A deeper look at the verses shows an acknowledgement of human potential. We have all this strength and all these large muscles. We should really be trying to make the most of them while we have them. Plastic, as a closer, is a pretty decent way to end things. I mean, it's not fireworks, but the song itself is a really awesome and frank look at how lazy our manufacturing processes are. There's still so much reliance on this substance that does so much harm to our ecosystems, yet the protagonist is hung up on whether or not it's recyclable. Sticky chorus, swell grooves, lyrical side-eye. It's quintessential Cheekface. Another good album from the band. Similar in quality to their last, and they make an effort to change things up ever so slightly, just to make their usual shenanigans feel a bit fresher than before. The only downsides to this album were tracks that were so brief that they felt like filler, or they failed to meet the same energy mark that the rest of the album hits. Very pleased otherwise. My hunger has been satiated. This offering will suffice. The rumbling hath ceased. Giving this one an 8.2 out of 10. Well, that about does it for me, kids. Have a blessed life and don't let it chew you up and spit you out. Bless me. Gesundheit. Alrighty then. First new album review of the year. Shedding like a husky at the moment. Alright. Bye, I guess. Bye. Goodbye. Bad bye. Because fuck you. I don't need a reason to be nice to you. That'd be cool. Be badass. Bye! Before we end proceedings, I just want to beg you to like and subscribe.